Greetings, Moonlight Citizens. Welcome back to the Moonlight Kingdom Podcast. I am your host, the Man on the Moon, here with episode 14, part 2, or 14.5. I haven't decided on the title yet, but I will by the time you see this. Anyway, this episode chronicles a lot more things, like a Barney movie, Sesame Street, Takalani Sesame, Tabang Tabong, and a bunch of other nostalgic things, such as Marvel's original plans for Phase 2, how things might have turned out had they gone with Abomination, and many more right now, right here on Moonlight Kingdom Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Damn, no Captain Carter either, cause what if wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
But damn, dude, like the Illuminati would have had to introduce Namor a lot earlier. Just it would
Yeah,
it
like
would be
maybe
weird, cause there's no Black
like
Panther at that
Thor or
point.
something.
So yeah, damn,
I
dude.
think a Thor story would be like the best place to like launch a Namor. I mean,
Really?
back then at least.
Thor would be that guy. In place of Dark World, we have Thor versus Namor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like two kingdoms conversion.
Yeah, it's not like we're losing anything. I mean, it's not like Malekith was some grand villain we're missing out on.
Exactly. And then you can even have that movie introduce us to Black Panther.
Yeah, like have Atlantis be near Wakanda. In a sense, like have Black Panther be teased in like post credits or something.
Yeah, like have T'Challa viewing this war on like a screen or something or a satellite.
Yeah.
He's just quietly observing and he will strike in the next movie.
Yeah, just like that thing of like, we've been watching and like we can stand by no longer. We need to step in, you know? Yeah. Could have worked.
Yeah.
Shit. Good. But damn, though, it would have been weird. That version of the MCU would have been weird. Blonsky as an Avenger, Hulk on the rampage, or Blonsky as a henchman for Ultron. Like, just.
Like a robot. Like, dog, what was this team now?
Dude. Like, he wouldn't. Exactly! Dude, why the fuck would Blonsky be, like, taking orders from this robot? Like, why would he follow him at all?
Probably money.
Money.
Probably money. You know, you can kind of move money across the internet.
Or just good old fashioned revenge. Like, Ultron could have been like, hey,
Yeah.
I know you got your ass kicked by the Hulk last time. Well, how about what if I give you a chance for a rematch? You know, like, yeah. Could have been it. But then at this point, if Blonsky was a henchman, we wouldn't have gotten him in She-Hulk. Because, like, you know.
Yeah, like his redemption arc of sorts.
Yeah. Damn. Hey, the MCU, the original plans were wild.
Crazy.
Certainly crazy. But yeah, man, it certainly would have been interesting. Though I'm kind of glad they didn't like go through with Feige's original ideas, because some of them, dude.
Yeah, some of them are out there.
Yeah, like because I remember,
These two work for Marvel, but
dude.
don't shop around those bad ideas here.
I remember one time in the interview they asked him like had he had it his way, what would have happened with Abomination, and he was like, he would have just like, the army would have shoved him in like a cell and then like put that cell at the bottom of the ocean. And I'm just thinking, what the fuck, dude? What the hell?
I guess in a way he's trying to do like that Civil War jail.
The raft.
The raft, but more so the one in the comics.
Yeah. Cause in the comics it's underwater and it comes up. It's not like yeah. It's not a floating prison. Yeah. But dude.
I think Feige's like one of the only guys out there who's like a nerd's nerd. Like he knows he knows a lot. He knows too much. And the reason why I say he knows too much is because I feel like sometimes those elements can mess with a story, you know. Because Feige ultimately has like final say on a lot of these things. If he doesn't like the fact that Miss Marvel can stretch like Reed, he can change it.
Yeah.
And it's because of his knowledge of comics that like he wants to make everything fit, and I think that's the issue. You want everyone to have their purpose, right? You want to connect Kamala to this, so you give her light-based powers and not stretchy powers. Like, not everything has to have an intrinsic link. Like, I know you wanted to, you know, as like a comic guy, like you want that like cohesion, but sometimes things can just be what they are. Like, Kamala doesn't have to have light-based powers simply because she's a Marvel. Like, I know it makes more sense in theory, but let's just keep her stretchy. Like, I don't understand why. I mean, I know why. You know, because Feige's an overthinker. Because let's be honest, if it was like Jeff Johns, he would have just kept the stretchy powers.
Yeah.
Like, there's been no major DCEU change to any character. And again, this is the old, now dead DCEU. Like, there was no major change besides, like, I guess, behavioral aspects to characters. They're just mostly what they are.
It was...
And I feel like
yeah,
Feige overthinks that because he already knows too much about comics. So he knows what is and what isn't.
yeah. In terms of like Jeff Johns and the Snyderverse, it was just mostly, when you look at certain frames, these were ripped straight out of the comic, adapted as is. So
Exactly.
let me question you on this. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer your comic book movie to be a shot-for-shot recreation of the comic book, or to be something new, entirely new?
That's a good question. Okay. I think it depends on the hero. If a hero's stories are a bit too, like, vanilla and, I guess, simple, it might help and serve the story character better to create a few, you know, I guess, liberties. To create a new, you know, like a few liberties just to make the story bounce better. Just to make the story more, I guess, in this case, like, digestible to fans. Because if it serves that purpose, then it's much more likely to work. If it doesn't, and it's just done for the sake of it, it's like, well, I don't care.
Yeah. Like fan service gone wrong, essentially.
I don't think anyone would have complained if Kamala still had stretchy powers and was in the movie The Marvels. I don't think anyone would complain.
Big old rubbery hands.
That's literally what her powers are.
I'm kind of glad they didn't go that route, because, like, those huge... Given the CGI, man, like, having big rubbery hands on screen, it's like... Yeah.
I mean, think of it this way. The amount of times they showed the light-based powers was about the amount of times they showed Luffy stretching in One Piece.
Yeah.
I honestly don't see, like, the big technical deal, because it's not like arms that are stretching are gonna have pores or any serious definition. Maybe a vein or two, but it, like, you can't expect arms that stretch in the ways that human arms don't and can't and never will to still look like a normal human arm. Obviously, you know, it's an arm. We get it. It's an appendage, but that is all it should be once it begins to stretch, because we're looking at something that the body has never done, will never do, and, like, no matter what we do, that will never be a part of it. So we can't imagine what it looks like. Like, the way
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's done. What's done is done. Feige made his decision. Kamala has light powers. I don't care. It's not a big deal. But like, it's just that element of Feige changing things that he doesn't need to change per se. But what can we do?
Definitely. I mean, not a lot. I mean, granted, given how things have changed, things are now, would you say the DCU is in a better place than the MCU? Or is it more of the same?
Mm, well, given that one hasn't even started yet, and one is in its like, what are we in now? We've passed our peak. I wouldn't say we're in a descent, but we're in that post-peak period where things are just horrendously average and bland. Not bad, but definitely bland. And there might be a few bad ones during there. But we're in that era. We're in like that episode 1 era of our franchise. Where it's like the kids who enjoyed this when it was still fresh are now adults. And now that we're adults, the new kids are getting episode 1. Definitely sucks compared to, the original trilogy and whatnot. Again, speaking metaphorically. But I guess these kids want something different. Or something different will appeal to them.
Yeah.
So Marvel is in a period right now where it sucks. But most things do suck after 20-something movies. So, we can give it some grace on that. Like, it's the biggest franchise of all time. We can give it some grace for feeling a little bland after 23 movies. It's bound to happen. It was bound to happen. It was always going to happen. Even when we were teenagers. But like, DCEU now, being in its infancy, all it really has to show is Blue Beetle. And that wasn't particularly amazing. So for now, I would say we're evenly tied. Because we're both in the beginning of our new eras, DC and Marvel. So we're tied. No one is better than no one right now.
Yeah.
We're both just mediocre.
Damn, dude. It's a sorry state of affairs. When you think about it, I mean, when you think of where they came from, I mean, DC had the first superhero movie to crack 1 billion. Marvel,
Yeah.
first, connected universe. And like now, oof. Man.
These guys are always like winning or losing. I mean, DC and WB are literally the guys that gave us Superman 1978. I mean, obviously not the actual guys, because those guys are long dead by now. Donner and whatever studio executives were around in the late 70s. But like, shit, man, this studio gave us Superman. That is like the perfect superhero movie. Like in every aspect, it's earnest, it's fun, it's meaningful.
Yeah.
There isn't a wasted scene of footage. There isn't a wasted scene of film in that entire movie. Not a single reel was misused.
Yeah. There's just.
And yet, just a few years later, they would go on to make Batman and Robin. So yeah, man, anything is possible. Not even 20 years in.
Yeah.
That's essentially like the difference between Spider-Man 2 and like fucking Age of Ultron. Or it's Iron Man 1 and Avengers Infinity War. Like those 15 years, a lot can happen in 15 years. The studio can go from great to okay to what's going on here. And I would say from 2008 till now, that is where we were. 2008 was our Superman 1, and now we're in that Batman and Robin era. Now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's tough being a fan these days.
It really is.
Man,
it's like...
Yeah. That...
I don't know, like...
But at least... Let me say this much. It's definitely like easier like admitting that you're a fan, because there was times back in the day you told people you watched like superhero movies or you read comics, you got made fun of, or like people didn't
call you a nerd or all those things.
Like people didn't respect that shit back in the day. It wasn't until the movies came along that all of a sudden, I don't know, Joe Citizen was suddenly looking into, who's this Batman guy? You know, like...
Exactly.
But yeah. I can at least...
now, they're kind of becoming less cool. Because we've kind of seen everything that industry can offer. You know? We've seen Thanos, we've seen Darkseid, we've seen the Justice League, we've seen the Avengers. I feel like everyone has had their fill of these characters. And now superheroes are kind of taking a backseat to other properties that are kind of finding their footing and legs again.
Yeah. Like Barbie and the good old movies based on toys phenomenon from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Barbie's no Transformers, but, you get what I'm saying.
Exactly. It's all like Mattel and,
yeah,
the contracts and family estates and,
dude,
I'll give you the rights to make this film and whatnot.
Did you hear the fucking weird news? Apparently Mattel, after the success of Barbie, has planned like 14 movies based on their toys. What the fuck?
That is so Dark Universe coded.
Dude.
Doesn't sound good already.
Like, bruh, one movie made money. I can understand we planned a sequel now. Like, not we planned an entire fucking, I don't know, TV show's worth of movies. Damn.
Yeah, like an entire series.
Dude, 14 movies? What the fuck?
Damn, yeah, that's too much. That's just way too much.
Oh, get this. The next movie they got working on is Barney. Movie about Barney the dinosaur. What the fuck? Why? Who asked for this? Who needs this, man? Like, who needs live action Barney? Just,
Dude, Barney is like, isn't it public domain? It's not, right?
I don't know. I don't know who owns that shit. Like,
so I'm thinking,
because it was on like SABC, so I'm like,
are they gonna make it like earnestly like he's a real dinosaur?
I don't know.
Animation? Is it live action? Like, what is it? Is it a guy in a costume? Is that the movie?
It would be kind of ridiculous though if it was a guy in a costume, because like, I mean, we already have that. There are movies where Barney's just a dude in a suit, but like, if he's live action, is it like Disney's Lion King live action? Because that would be weird.
The real dinosaur? Like an anthropomorphic dinosaur that kids play with and they sing song with? I don't know.
Hey, dude, like that whole
show. Make a Barney movie.
Can they make a Barney movie?
A man in costume. Like, If he's not a man in like velvet or whatever, then what the fuck is a Barney movie about?
Well,
You know?
I mean, you could ask the same question about like the Power Rangers, dude. I mean, the villains were clearly just guys in suits, but when they did like the Power Rangers movie, okay, that's a terrible example because that movie didn't work. That that movie didn't work, but like still, you get what I'm saying.
But I feel like in those contexts, while it is known that it's a person in a suit, there is still a powerful person in a suit. Whereas Barney is just a middle-aged guy. You know, probably divorced, and he's in a suit just to make ends meet. So that's the real life story of that guy. Like, in terms of, we're speaking about the man who'll be wearing Barney's costume. His life sucks. You know,
Yeah.
is the movie going to be about him discovering the joy of life again? Or is the movie just going to be like Barney in CGI in some barn farmland with fucking, toddlers or whatever? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think the only way this movie could work is if it was animated, like a fully animated movie. Like
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
if you animate it, you keep it in the Barney world, and that way it's do the things that it needs to do in order to fill the quota of what this movie should entail.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to have Barney have an adventure where he goes into like a forest to find a magical talisman that maybe, I don't know, it makes his little friend better and she's sick. Like something like that, you know.
The Barney episodes were never really a story. It was like
Specific.
yeah, it was like a lesson of the week type thing, you know? Like
Sharing is caring. Like, give that kid a piece of your donut or some dumb shit like that. Or like, oh, you don't know how to tie your shoes? Let me teach you how, you know?
Like, bro, that's not even a joke. That would legit.
Yeah, like, legit? I can't tie my shoes, Barney. Like, it's
Dude.
so weird. But I guess Barney is an educational show, so he's just teaching kids just basic things, really.
Yeah. So, I guess it would be like Barbie, almost. Like, Barbie goes to the real world, finds this woman who's like,
But would it be real world? Or would it just be that world is part of Barney's world, and he just exists as a dinosaur? Because you look at the Barney show, right? The Barney show definitely makes it seem like these are in the world, at least, these are real talking dinosaurs. But maybe they're not, because sometimes the intro, or the older intro at least, from like the 90s, the one that had like Selena Gomez as like a cast member when she was a kid. That Barney series had like the beginning. It was like all the Barney characters are toys.
Oh, and
it's like a magical spell that brings them to life.
Shit. Yeah.
So even in the Barney world, are they actual dinosaurs, like flesh inside, or are they real life anthropomorphic toys? Is it a case of Toy Story, or is it a case of Dragon Tales? Like, I want to understand what exactly it is. Is it like Dragon Tales mixed with Ant-Man? Because the toys get fucking bigger. Or is it like, is it like Ted / Dragon Tales? Or is it like just actual they're treating it as if Barney's an actual living dinosaur in a world of humans when dinosaurs went extinct millions upon millions of years ago. So yeah, I don't understand what they're trying to do with that. Like, I don't see the sequence of like the order, you know?
I guess it could be like a case of, I don't know, like I think like the first movie to try this was like Fat Albert movie back in the day. You know, like there was a
Oh
girl who
yeah,
didn't have any
with Bill
friends.
Cosby, like
Yeah.
they're
Like
TV characters, but they're real. And
yeah, they come into the real world and they have to like adjust to like being there, but at the same time do what they're here to do and help this character. Like, I think it would be that, but if it's that, then that means Barney doesn't exist in this world. He's a legit dinosaur just walking around and shit. So, no matter how you slice it, this movie makes no sense. Just.
yeah, like the logic behind it.
Also, here's another big thing.
Missing.
Who's this for? Cause
It's
what fucking kids?
kids even
Barney
know
hasn't been on
Barney.
TV in years, man. Like,
That's the thing. Maybe like there are certain regions in the world where kids still watch Barney, like in Australia or something, and I guess it's still big enough as a property on the international market that they want to profit off of it. That's as best explanation as I can figure out myself. Because there isn't even like a, revamped CGI Barney show out there that was made like in the 2010s or whatever. Maybe there is. Maybe we just haven't searched it up. Let me see. Like those 2010s, shows, DC superheroes. It's like that weird animation. I mean, it's not weird, but like it's like CGI,
I cannot believe that we've spent like. I'm looking at the clock here, man. I can't believe we just spent the last 8 minutes talking about Barney the friggin' dinosaur, man. Just.
Because it's weird, right?
It is.
Like,
what the?
He has shows from the 90s. I don't see any like 2000s. Oh wait, there was the other one, the one that we watched, because the Selena one would have been too old for us. We watched the one. Which one did we watch? We watched the one where I'm trying to remember a specific Bonnie. Do you have like a specific Bonnie memory of sorts?
I remember I remember the theme song, Barney is a dinosaur. You know that
dinosaur
shit. Yeah.
From our imagination.
Remember that shit.
And all that.
There was a green dinosaur who was a girl and a yellow dinosaur who wore sneakers. Like,
yeah, all those characters are fine. I recognize them. But I'm trying to think, has there ever been like a Barney, like an episode that stands out? Like, wow, man, that's my favorite episode of Barney. Maybe toddlers have that. I guess.
I guess, dude.
Actually, speak of the devil, because it seems like they're actually doing what I was saying. How disgusting.
What's that? Oh, let me see.
Check your thing. Your WhatsApp.
Oh, damn. That is.
Oh my god.
That is horrible. What the the fuck?
Dude, as he was speaking about it, it could be a prank though, because I can't see anything from Mattel themselves claiming this.
This is I don't know what the fuck this is. What is this, dude? Like,
it's blasphemy. First of all,
why does he have a gap in his teeth? Like,
why is there a small little gap? Like, I mean, I get it. He looks more dinosaur-esque, but like, what's the point in making a T-Rex more T-Rex like. Like, no one cares Barney's a dinosaur. They care because he's cute and he has like a nice voice. If Barney was a dog, people would like him. You know?
Yeah.
It's not about him being a dinosaur. Just why his dino look isn't like really a dino.
Plus, look at his eyes,
like
man. Just his eyes are huge now. Like, just.
Exactly, they overdid it.
Hey. I think.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe they redesigned him so he wouldn't scare kids or something. They tried to make him more friendly looking, but like.
Does Barney scare kids? Okay, his face is kind of creepy. I won't lie.
Yeah, looking back, I'm like, how did we enjoy this? Like, damn.
I remember an episode of Barney. I just remembered one, like literally one, and it's the only one that I have in my mind, which is so strange. I don't know.
Same.
It was the episode when Barney taught those kids that song, that "I Love You" song. That's the only episode I have internalized in my brain. It's the only one.
Oh, I remember that shit. I had that on cassette. Damn.
Yeah, and he sounds like Randy Newman, I guess. You know, he has that voice, that nasally voice.
Yeah, when he was singing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very. I think most kids remember that. Actually.
Yeah, that specific tape, because it had that song. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's probably. Let me actually see. Most watched episode of Barney.
Damn, dude.
It probably is that one. Or another one.
Like, bruh, I didn't see till like I was in high school, because I hadn't seen a tape in years. I like found it. I'm like, alright, motherfucker, let's see if it still holds up. I watched it. I think it was like grade 11, and I didn't realize till that point that guy's mouth didn't actually move. It just like opened up and down.
Opened
like
and
just
sound came out. Yeah.
like I'm hearing him sing, and I'm looking like, hey, wait a minute. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
I felt dumb. I'm like, bro, how did I not see that? Like, just jaw just moving up. All of them, all of them were just like up and down and shit. Just did a good job of hiding it. But yeah. Say what you will about that show, but it had a pretty solid, diverse cast, you know, without drawing attention to itself.
Exactly. Like, they had a very healthy, even for the time, very healthy mix of diversity.
Yeah, Asian kid, black kids, white kids, you know, just they're all together, and it was cool. I mean, it would rarely be the same kids. It were new kids every season, obviously, but like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. Everyone is special. Barney sings a special song for the children, and they learn that it is more fun to be different than to be exactly the same. There we are. This episode. It's rated 4.9 out of 5 stars, apparently, on IMDb. And it is from 1997. Interesting.
Oh, man. Barney the freaking dinosaur. Shoot.
I would let my kids watch him. I don't want to lie.
Really? With that freaky ass mask?
Yeah. It didn't scare me as a kid. I think most of these things only really scare us if we see them in real life, like at the mall. Like, I remember one time I saw Barney at Gateway. I was scared. I was like, I'm not going to near that thing. But Barney on TV is digestible.
Yeah. Because in person, he's huge. Like...
Dog, he's like the Hulk's height. He's like 7 foot. You know, he's got like these beady eyes. And I'm like, oh my God, that thing is so scary.
Yeah. Like, his head, depending how old you are, can be bigger than your body. Like, dude. Damn.
He just looks at you and I can understand why kids cry when I see that.
Those, like, big, unblinking eyes. I mean, they weren't big, but, like, he didn't blink. Just... Alright, damn.
And because it's Africa, you know, the voice is off because you have a nigga named Takalani doing Barney.
Yeah.
Like, it's Barney. Yeah, that's not Barney. That is not Barney, bruh.
No, we had some like good essay versions of things. Remember Black Santa with his like black beard and shit? Like,
I mean, think of it this way: South Africa is so special that Sesame Street gave us our own version of the show.
yeah.
Like not just translated,
Our
but they
own
give us our own
Sesame
show.
Street,
Like, you know,
Takalani
Sesame Street has
Sesame.
like
Yeah.
Arabic versions, Turkish versions, Indian versions. It's essentially the same show but dubbed over. They gave us a brand new show, Takalani Sesame. That's so crazy. Like, that's kind of goated.
Yeah.
South Africa is that special. You know what? You know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's the Mandela influence.
Absolutely.
I'll explain why. Whenever you watch an episode of Takalani, they have like 10 billion sponsors at the end. Sunlam, thinking ahead. They have Sunlam. They have DBE. They have Sesame Street.
Bruh.
They have Sesame Works. They have PBS.
Dude.
CB. Like, they have 20 billion people making that show. And it's like, oh, okay, the DBE got this launched. And I guess the DBE used that clout. They used that national clout to lobby a show made for us, not just dubbed in English or Zulu. Like they really wanted a unique show. So they got Sanlam and the DBE, and they got them. They like really talk to the Americans, and they gave us our own show. Mandela was definitely name dropped in there. He had to have been. It's Mandela.
Yeah.
You know, we might feel differently about him, but Americans love that nigga. Yeah. Like, why would Oprah build a school in fucking South Africa of all places? Like, she could have built a school in like Singapore or something. But it's Africa. It's because of that boy. They love him.
Hell yeah, man. I think Desmond Tutu said it best. Like, no other nation has a moral colossus quite like Nelson Mandela. We are the envy of every nation, you know, in that regard.
Exactly.
Whew. But man, dude, like, just good old Takalani Sesame, dude. Just, Zikwe and
so popular.
Neno
These
and
characters that we remember.
yeah, man.
Oh shit. You know, I was probably like maybe 11 or 12 when I discovered that this red monster character in America is called Elmo. I was like, what the fuck is an Elmo? Because my whole life, I just knew like Neno. And
Yeah,
like,
man.
Okay, that's what it's fucking called.
Yeah, it's just Neno, man. Like, the blue guy was
So-
Zikwe. You know, like, just, like, man,
Yeah,
I
like,
fucking love
like
Zikwe. You know,
like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, this red nigga is Nino. So who the fuck is Elmo? And the only reason why is Elmo is because one time I think it was in computer class, someone played a video of Elmo's World, and I was like, what the fuck is Elmo's World? And then I began seeing it on TV. Like, I think it was BTV back in the day, but they began to show like episodes of Sesame Street, like half episodes.
Yeah.
And then they'd play like the Elmo's World segment, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I did some googling on my BlackBerry, and I was like, well, I'll be. This shit is from America.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew his name was Elmo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It definitely
So weird.
took me aback as well. Like, there was, you know, like, just different versions of the characters I grew up watching. You know, like
And yet they're so similar.
yeah,
Yeah. Like props to like, Sesame Street and all those people who made the show. But like keeping like those elements, like a few elements, like, more Grover and whatever.
the design
Like they kept
basically.
them fairly
Yeah,
consistent. I think like the way they act all over the world is pretty much the same.
like we had Bert and Ernie, but they weren't called Bert and Ernie. They didn't even act like fucking Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. They were just two friends, like sharing a
They were like
room.
brothers and
Yeah,
whatever.
they weren't
Like
all
they
grouchy and
I
shit.
mean,
You know, like yeah,
I kind of understand why they removed a lot of the humor, because a lot of the humor is very like American. I don't expect a kid from Orlando to laugh at the banter of Bert and Ernie and the things they actually speak about. Because a lot of the things that we saw as kids was mostly like physical comedy, like maybe Bert took Ernie's pillow at night, and now he's looking for it. Like he went to the bathroom, he took his pillow, and now he can't find it. Now he looks up like under his bed, all over the room for it, and then Ernie's like chuckling by himself, and he has the pillow, and he's like, he's laughing. Like that physical comedy and like unspokenness. That was what got us.
yeah.
But then they're speaking for 12 minutes about chairs, and this chair is too short. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Not to mention, some of those songs were pretty damn catchy. Like, they weren't. There was one about like the water. It's like, don't waste the water, turn it off. Like, just you could tell we didn't write that. We didn't.
Exactly.
We didn't write that,
Didn't come from that.
but it worked.
That's
Like in the context of the show, it worked. Like there were a lot of things we took from there and adapted here.
Like not every segment on Takalani was made in South Africa.
Yeah.
A lot of segments, like the counting segments for counts, Takula, whatever.
Yeah.
They were from America, because the way that guy speaks, it's identical. It's like, okay, that's just literally just that segment.
Yep.
Airing in South Africa.
One thing.
How can you getify Dracula? He's Dracula.
There's one thing I don't think we did have though. I don't think I don't remember ever having Oscar the Grouch. Like he was the one guy I do not remember seeing. Like when I saw him on
We had Oscar, but he had no name.
Yeah.
And you'd hardly see him. But he definitely did live in the trash.
Yeah.
But like we never really saw him or interacted a lot with him.
Cause
he was just there with like Bomadim Paul
and Spidey and them like just he was. Cause think about it, dude. In South Africa, dude who lives in the trash, he pot him. You can't make a kid show about he pot him. Like, he's a bum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I love that the human characters at least interacted with every one of them.
Yeah.
Especially like your Madim Paul in them.
Yeah. It was. Hey man, it was. I love that this. There was a simple episode where Takalani Sesame where it was Spidey and big yellow guy. I don't remember his name, but it's a big yellow motherfucker. And he was talking about like crossing the streets. Looking back as an adult, I'm like, oh, what the fuck, crossing the street? But like as a kid, he was like, it's very important that you do like this. And when they would say things like that, you were genuinely like listening, interested, like, man, where's this gonna go? What's he gonna do?
Internalize it.
Yeah, you internalize like, look left, look right, left again, and when you're sure there's no cars coming, then you cross the road. I heard that over a decade ago, and I still remember that shit.
Dude. Like I still do it. Left, right.
Yeah.
Left, right. It's crazy.
Dude, man.
Like, kids' education is actually so important because you don't realize how much you soak up as a kid.
Just from the stuff you watch on TV, man. Like, just... It proved that kids shows could be both entertaining and educational, but not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Like nowadays, the most, I guess, or education show you have is like what? What's that girl with the ladybug?
Girl with the ladybug? I don't fucking know.
She's a superhero. I don't know. Ladybug hero.
I mean,
like
it's on SBC too. Yeah.
Yeah, like Miraculous Ladybug or something, and Marsha and the Bear. You know.
Oh, that.
I think Marsha counts.
Yeah,
she has like these singing segments where she counts things and like,
yeah, that's
it's okay,
but it's not.
It's not Takalani.
Yeah, there was honestly, if I had it my way, dude, I would get tapes, or I'd find whatever streaming service it's on and just have my kid watch that, as opposed to watching whatever cartoons we have in the future. Yeah.
Because these selection right now, and they suck.
Thing is, dude, back in the day, a cartoon could be educational and fun. Nowadays, it has to be either or. If it's fun, you're not learning anything. If it's educational, it's no fun.
Like, I remember SBC2 had the game on lock when it comes to, like, educational cartoons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yo, and we were eating. We had, like, Dora. We had Will and Duets. We had, obviously, Tabang Tabong, whatnots.
Damn, dude.
It's fun for you and me.
Dude.
I remember kids in the Hill group would not stop calling me Tabang Tabong once they learned my second name. I was like, alright, let's wrap it up. You already think the first song is a gospel song. Pick a struggle. Like, come on.
Dude. Kids, dude. Like, just... Personally, like... Do you remember that old... I mean, this isn't, like, kids or anything. You remember that old KFC ad about the old man who would call over his grandson?
Wipe his hands on his neck.
Yeah, wipe his hands on his fucking head. Like, just... Dude, that came at the worst time. Dude, that came at the worst time for me because I just got a haircut. I had, like, no hair. And motherfuckers... Yeah. And then that ad hits and it's like, oh my god. Dude, so annoying. Motherfuckers just grab, like, dubbing my head, like,
you're that kid now.
Dude. Like, it was annoying as fuck, dude. After it's been his stuff, it just... Oh, shit.
Yo, dude, like, a lot of ads influenced us as kids. Like, us as kids, it influenced the way we came up with humor, slang. So crazy how influential the era was.
Hey, man, we came up in a good era. Let me say that much.
The best era, man. Like, the last good era before the internet took off and just made everything so crazy.
Absolutely.
Like, we're the last batch of kids who were able to comment on their favorite YouTube videos when they were younger. Kids can't comment on YouTube videos anymore. Like, so dumb. Like, we're the last era of kids who had the best cartoons. Like Ben 10, Cow and Chicken, Powerpuff Girls. Like, you know, this new era had, like, Adventure Time regular show. But those are just two shows. Back then, every single episode of every single show that played on Cartoon Network was absolute gas. It was perfect. Nowadays, it's like, they're waiting to find that next regular show. They're waiting to find that next Adventure Time. But like, it's not gonna happen, man.
Yep.
Like, good things only come once.
Dude, just sad but true. The sad truth of it all.
Yeah.
Oh man, just makes me nostalgic. Not nostalgic enough to go back and look for a Barney episode or a Takalani Sesame Street episode because I won't enjoy it. Like I'll remember the nostalgia, but I won't enjoy it like I did then. It's like
Exactly.
yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Laugh of it all. What a what an odd turn of events, man. And all this started because of like just and this whole conversation started because of Barbie, of all things. Like back then,
Barbie.
dude. Back then, if people found out you like Barbie, man, you'd never live that shit down. Damn.
I think Barbie is strange because the Barbie we remember, if you recall, was competing at a very tough point when Bratz was coming up.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people from our age group like Bratz a lot more than Barbie, because Bratz is Bratz came out when we were kids. Like it was the direct competitor. It was like Samsung and iPhone. Like Mattel was in deep trouble when Barbie came out. I remember there were girls who made their entire personality their Bratz dolls, and bringing them to school and taking them to lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Bratz was so in. Like a lot of guys had while the guys had Omnitrixes, the girls had Bratzes.
Yeah. I think the way Bratz was able to take over so quickly and so effectively was because you could have a Bratz doll for just about anything. If you liked rock or pop or fashion or whatever, there was a Bratz doll that covered that. Whereas with Barbie, it was kind of limited to like princesses and fairies and so on. So like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Barbie's very idealistic, but Bratz is true to life.
yeah. I mean, as true to life as those bobblehead like dolls becomes, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just, oof, man, the way things change. So many things, like your Yu-Gi-Oh, your Beyblade,
a lot of.
yeah.
I think media has a period where it just evolves. It can either evolve or it can devolve. I think that's the thing with media. And when it devolves, it kind of winds up in this weird flanderization point where it becomes a formal shell of itself.
Yeah.
It's so past its earnest means of storytelling that it's become this. It's become this former a caricature of itself.
Basically, yeah. But man, dude, it's just so many things go that way, just not what they used to be.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Ben 10 and the direction that Ben 10 went.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that.
Clean this up. Hold on, bro.
Omniverse.
Yeah, you were saying?
From Ultimate Alien to Omniverse. You can see like the line of like the kind of people that were going for Because with Ben 10, it was clearly the original Ben 10. It was clearly tailored to us. But then when you get Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, you could see the show was growing up and maturing with us. But then when you get to like,
with us, so that's the thing. Because it's like
yeah,
now he's a teen, and now he's
yeah. But then you get like, what's this Omniverse? It's still continuing the character story, but it is no longer tailored to us now. It is tailored to the generation of kids, like the age we were when the show started.
true, true. But now when you have the reboots, it suddenly like skips a decade from us, and it kind of devolves down to like ages 10 up with that whole new aesthetic that they crafted and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we won't get an animation era
Quite like
the era
that
that
ever
we
again.
thought.
Yeah.
I think every generation can say that. Like,
They don't make them like they
I
used
mean, there
to.
are some bad eras.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the 80s was any particular good era for, you know, animation or like. I mean, definitely animation in terms of I guess, an industry pushing perspective, because that's when we change from that like Hanna-Barbera style to like a more stylized, unique, sort of character design. But that's the only thing I can remember for the 80s, like what really came in the 80s, the switch from the Hanna-Barbera style
Yeah.
to, more lax character design for like characters and whatnot. Yet when you have something like Ben 10, 2022, or 2021, everything is just so round now. I don't like that roundness. It's like a modern day round. I don't know if it means anything or cause
The animation style has changed. Like just I don't know. It's not what it used to be. It's very I don't know, it looks hand drawn, but it's not. Like it's clearly computer generated, but like I don't know,
I don't
make
know.
yeah.
Because people call it the Cal art style. Like there's that famous picture on the internet, and it is incorrect in such aspects. But like looking at like shows that have come out in the past 10 years, you definitely see that Cal arts art influence from those, you know, those directors, those showrunners, because they all went to Cal Arts and they were all probably like roommates or, like corridor mates where certain ideas would be bubbling around the same creative spaces. Just look at like, Pendleton Ward and Pat McHale. Like they were roomies at Cal Arts, and one made Flapjack, one made Adventure Time. And when you
Yeah.
look at all of this, it kind of all leads back to Flapjack, or to create all these other shows, and it was kind of the beginning of the end in terms of creative character design. We definitely had many creative character designs in 2010s, but I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that they're not especially creative
Yeah.
as the early 2000s were. That was a zany period. Like early
Yeah, dude.
2000s, a
Cause
brilliant period for cartoons and character design. But nowadays, everyone is round. Everyone has two big guys in front of them. They have a side profile, and their mouth is like a half circle. It's like a crescent moon. Like everyone just looks like that now.
Yeah. It's not like with Adventure Time where you could have certain episodes that have these different styles to them, or in just as the seasons went on, the style of the show changed. Like looking at episode one. Yeah.
Character design got a little bit more intricate.
Yeah.
You've
Dude.
seen details on characters that previously
Yeah.
had no details. Things like that.
There was an episode, it was like Bimo Noir, where I got to look at Finn and I was like, does dude, like his character, the way he's designed, I'm like, does he have a neck? Cuz like in that he looked like he was just a head connected to shoulders and like a big tube. And then later on, you could see like, okay, he does have shoulders and thing. Plus in like earlier seasons, the characters moved like they were boneless in those earlier seasons. The way their arms would flail and everything. But as the seasons went on,
that obviously
yeah,
that is an evolution of the animation, like how the characters are animated and how they move on the screen. Like obviously that like it's because of that, but you also have like that thing of sometimes a show evolves with, I guess, the technology.
Yeah.
And then you like Adventure Time was what, like hand drawn, right?
I'd wager so.
They like, I think they recently, not recently, but like season 2, 3, they switched to like digital and like began experimenting with more colorful, intricate backgrounds, more detailed art. Because remember back in the early seasons, the background was so plain. It was like, if they're in the Ice Kingdom, it's a blue sky, a few clouds. These days, the clouds are shaded, there's birds flying, there's ice columns and whatever.
Dude, there's shadows. Like when the sun shines on someone, you see shadows on their face. Dude. Yeah. It's so... The world seems more alive,
Yo, bro.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. But man, things change.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone.